Hello and welcome to The Wind Up, our weekly recap and review show where I, microphone, and my co-host, Shaun Philip Naylor, recap and review each episode of Drag Race. This iteration round, we are doing Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the world. Now, for those listening, you'll have no idea what's happening, but for those watching over us on our YouTube channel, you can see I have a very special guest with me this evening.
She has an intruder.
And this isn't Big Brother. It could be.
Not yet.
So don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram at microphone. You can follow him at Shaun Philip Official. You can follow the podcast at @thewindup_pod. And you can follow my very special guest at Terry Daktyl. I believe it's DakYTL. No?
Terry Daktyl.
Terry Dot. But my fabulous guest is Mr.
Yeah, Mr. Announcer.
Terry Daktyl.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Terry Daktyl. I'm excited to have a guest. You're our first guest.
Yes.
I got the best one.
You are.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Even more exciting.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And you know, funnily enough, you were actually the first one I asked. So it wasn't like one of those, like we've asked people who turn us down. You were actually the first one I asked. All right. Cheers to this episode, by the way. Cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers. And cheers. Chink. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking the last of my blue gin. It's made a few appearances on The Wind Up.
It has.
But it is about to be all gone.
We're starting off with a lovely margarita. And then I've got some lovely Fiano. Do I have a Fiano? Yeah, I bought a Fiano to drink tonight. Fiano, it's a white wine. It's on special. Well, not on special. It's actually on reduced to clear at work. And it's a one that our work buys, so I get it even cheaper. Okay, so this week we are talking about the latest episode of Canada versus the World, and it's the Spy Queens episode. So last week we obviously saw Isis Couture sadly leave. We already made our feelings known about this. What did you think of Isis leaving?
I don't know. Like, it was interesting to watch as someone who suffers with like depression and anxiety. I'm like, I don't know if this is how she felt in the moment, and it would be a regrettable decision later because I just didn't feel like it was fully there. But also, I'm like, you can never relate to someone else's experience that's completely different to your own. So
it's very interesting that was your take on it, because our take on it was a very strategic move, because she hadn't been in the top in the design challenge, which was obviously expected, and then she was nervous about the comedy challenge, and then rather than having her legacy tainted by being eliminated by another queen. Really? But yeah, we were both just going, and I feel it's very strategic, because that way then she's securing her legacy and not tarnishing it by getting eliminated when she's the reigning winner.
We did also think that, obviously she has just gone from, one drag event to the next. So she probably is feeling a bit fatigued and tired and overwhelmed, but it would just seem like a really smart move on her part to exit at that point.
Yeah, not discrediting obviously how she's feeling, because
it's just a viewpoint.
Yeah, so obviously we're not her, we're not there, we can't, like, all it is speculation, but it just came across
drink and judge.
We're gays, that's what we do. But yeah, so did you see the thing about how she claimed she spent $70,000 on all her runways?
I can imagine so.
And then Raja O'Hara came out with a tweet not long after that came out, saying about how she doesn't understand how Isis spent $70,000 because it's ridiculous that queens are spending that much money on runways that aren't even credited for each challenge. So when Isis said that she spent $70,000, Raja O'Hara then put out a tweet being like, how are you going to claim you spent $70,000 when runways aren't even counted towards each challenge? Because Raja reuses runways or reuses stuff that she never got. So, for example, her Face Keeney runway from last week was actually made for season 11 for the Face Keeney episode that she never got to wear because she didn't make it to that episode. So she was like, oh, well, I'll just repurpose. I haven't worn it, so I'll repurpose it for this one. So, and she says that she spent very little money on Canada versus the world for her runways.
But she did for the last All Stars. She only spent $600 on material because she makes everything.
You could certainly tell she made her outfit this week. Just saying.
Little fire crutch pants. I'm like, what's going on there?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, so she's saying that the Queen's spending exorbitant amount of money, especially when the runways aren't actually counted towards placements each episode. No, this is the thing. They're not. Apparently the runways only matter when it matters for storyline.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Because I know you didn't watch UK most recently, but did you watch the most recent UK? Like when Starlet was like, I assumed look was 50% of the mark. Oh, yeah. So she thought she was safe because her looks were stunning.
But like, if the main challenge is the acting challenge and you're shit, it's not going to be 50%.
No, but 20%. In theory, you would assume that, because otherwise, why give them a theme for the runway if it's not going to be part of essentially your mark for how well you do in the challenge? Like if you excel in the challenge but bomb the runway, you would expect, the runway to pull you down and you to be towards the bottom, if that makes sense.
I don't think anything counts for anything on Drag Race.
Oh god, no.
Storyline.
I can't remember. Was there a mini challenge this week? I want to say no.
I would remember since I just watched it while you were doing trivia.
I want to say no, but I can't remember.
No, so they went into the workroom. They had the chat. Oh, there was the lipstick reveal at the start.
That's right. I thought this was bullshit on Silky's part. So when Victoria revealed, obviously she pulled Vanity's lipstick last week because Vanity and Raja were both safe because Isis chose to go home. And then Silky was like, I don't want to pull it out. I'm doing this for said Queen's mental health. No, fuck off, you are. No, you're just trying to pull a BB, the whole in honor.
She went up and told her.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, like, she went up and told her privately, which, that's okay. But every other week, you're perfectly fine with pulling out a lipstick because the Queen's not there.
I think Silky saw that Vanity doesn't really have much confidence and took it upon herself to have a little bit of a chat. Because any other Queen in the competition, I think, would be like, oh yeah, I can understand that decision. I think Vanity still feels like she's not as good as everyone.
Yeah.
Just from my point of view. So possibly she saw that. She's like, if I double whack her in front of everyone, that she's gonna not be able to live up to her potential. And as another POC person, she's like, oh, that's like, I want her to succeed.
I get that. I do. But I do think as well, Silky, because as much as I do say that I'm not a huge fan of Silky, because I'm not, and it's got nothing to do with anything about her drag or that, I'm not a huge fan of her personality. I do think that she's very smart because she knows what she's doing when it comes to a camera and how to not only milk screen time, but produce a storyline to get her more screen time. So, for example, the whole I'm choosing not to do it so that then she can go up and do it to Vanity personally. Yeah. Like, she's smart that way. I do think, again, like I said, I do think it's a little bit of a cop-out not doing it in front of the other queens, because if she was going to do that, in my mind, she should have then spoken to Victoria and been like, who did you pick? If we both picked the same queen, can we not do it in front of everyone? So that way then it is more, because by waiting until Victoria revealed hers to then go, I'm not doing it for this queen's mental health, that's why I think it's a little bit of a cop-out. Because if she was actually concerned about someone else's well-being, she should have pulled Victoria aside and gone, hey, who did you pull? I pulled the same one. Can we respectfully talk to that queen privately rather than doing it in front of everyone?
And would you, I feel like I would, because of my anxiety and everything that goes on, like what I said about Vanity, I would assume that people were thinking that if they did it on the side and be like, oh, you can't take this in front of everyone, so I'm going to tell you separately.
Yeah.
Like I would overlook the kindness of it.
Yeah.
How my brain works.
Yeah. You know, I'm with you.
Situations, be like, oh, she doesn't think that I'm able to take another one like in front of everyone.
Yeah. Which is kind of what she said anyway. So like, although she was trying to be kind, she did tell the camera that, you know, she didn't want, after Vanity having her, you know, English queen throw her under the bus and throw her off the show, she didn't want her to feel like there was, you know.
But at the same time, but at the same time, all the queens have been voting very fair on this season. So they've all said that they're going to vote based on track record. Vanity had been the bottom twice, so in reality, it was her time to go. It was Raja's first time, so it would make sense that you would pick Vanity. So I don't understand why there would be so much of a shock to the queens being like, oh my God, Victoria chose Vanity. Unless Victoria was doing a whole double swerve, which I don't think she would, because Victoria doesn't seem like that type of malicious queen. Me, on the other hand, I'm a cunt. So obviously no mini challenge. We had Tracy Melshaw come in.
I have a question.
Yes.
How did Victoria get to do, again,
to
I should know this because I just watched this, but I completely forgot.
Because she won the lip sync last week.
Right. So that, okay. So there's no mini challenge, and that's how she got to assign the roles. Okay.
Yeah. So Tracy Melshaw comes in and discusses, obviously, they're doing Spy Queens, you know, spy thriller, tells Victoria she's going to assign the roles. What did we think of the queens, like Victoria's choices on who plays what? So you've got Body Oddy Oddy, which ended up going to Raja O'Hara. You've got Lip Sync Assassin, which ended up going to Silky. You've got Vanity was the Master of Disguise. Then you Look Queen. Then you've got Mother, which was Rita Bagger, and then you've got what was Victoria's character?
The
reading.
The one who reads good.
Yeah. The reading assassin. That's right.
That's it.
What do we think of the choices that she made for each character?
I feel like obviously Vanity wasn't happy with what she got. She was the Look Queen. She wanted the Lip Sync Assassin.
Or Body Oddy Oddy.
And so she wasn't happy, but I mean, tough position for Victoria because you can't please everyone. And really, if you're in that position, the only person you're really going to please is yourself, because you're going to give yourself the role that you want. And she did.
Already done that twice today.
Merry Christmas.
I don't think anyone suited their role apart from.
I don't think any of the roles were any good.
Yeah.
Like they were all a bit shit.
So the only thing I agreed with was Silky's reasoning behind wanting to be the lip sync assassin. The whole comedic thing of they're not going to have a fat body double. They did, yeah, when she was doing the flips and stuff.
She was so skinny you didn't even see her.
When Victoria was tied up in the chair and Silky had to come in and save her, and they had a body double do flips and tricks and stuff. And it was this obviously skinny twink doing it. And I agree with her on that, that's funny because, you know, they're not going to have a fat body double. So it makes sense for them to choose Victoria because it's comedic there. But the rest of the rest of the girls, I don't know if it's the challenge that was shit. We all know I hate an acting challenge.
They're never good.
Like Caged Queens and Down Under was horrendous.
Wait, do it properly.
I mean, Caged Queens.
Yes.
Horrendous.
Sorry, Terry, you were talking.
Yeah, the best acting challenge I've seen in a few seasons. They've been pretty shit.
Oh, they have been ridiculous.
And like the comedic how bad the backdrop and set was, where like Victoria was looking out and like this little claymation, like little fish were just hovering up and down, not even swimming. I thought that was stupid and great.
So the bits that we didn't see in their rehearsal, or when Tracy was directing them. So for example, that underwater scene, that was actually funny. And maybe it was funny because we didn't get to see them doing their, you know, not rehearsal, but the whole bit with Tracy directing them. So I think that's why that probably was a little bit funnier because you weren't expecting it. Whereas all the other ones, and especially and again like the Silky with the body double was funny because you didn't see it. I always find the scenes that they have with the direction from whoever's directing them are never actually as funny in the finished product as what they're hoping.
What qualifications does Tracy have to be giving direction on acting? Because she
the same
wasn't...
as Brad has for comedy.
So she's married to an actor?
I don't know yet. I don't know what Tracy Melchior is known for yet. She's
an actress. I thought she was an actress.
So on Canada's Drag Race, which I know, Shaun, you haven't watched, but season 1, she was just Canada's squirrel friend. So she wasn't actually on the judging panel. She was just there. And then she became a judge on season 2. But yeah, I don't actually know what she does.
Like, I feel like she's no Greta Gerwig or Martin Scorsese. Like, I don't think she has, the directing chops to...
For a second, when you said Greta Gerwig, I was thinking again back to last week, like Greta Thunberg. And I was like, Greta Thunberg directs?
I mean, maybe, or from that giant yacht that she's hanging out on, apparently.
While suing the pants off the world leaders for,
she's going to be Leonardo DiCaprio's new girlfriend at some point. You know it.
So we then get to back in the workroom. The queens are obviously discussing whatever they were discussing. I wasn't paying attention at this point, if I'm honest. I'm really kind of over the workroom chats, to be completely fair, because I feel like they're very forced, which they are, because the producers are in their ear telling them what they're supposed to be talking about. I feel like it was another soppy moment where there was a hug. I feel like there was a hug.
These Canadian queen, I know that obviously there's only one Canadian queen in there, but I guess there's something in the water in Canada, but everybody's just too nice. And don't get me wrong, like there's no need for us to not be nice to each other, but
no, but so we watch shows like this for the drama. Let's be real. Like, we watch shows like this for the drama, for the in-house fighting. It's something that we live for, because for us as humans, especially those watching a reality TV show, we like watching other people fight, because for us it makes the rest of our lives seem normal. If we're watching people
not even fight, just have like heated opinions.
Yes.
Where people have strong opinions that they stand by.
Like, because in our day-to-day lives, we're forced, especially if we work in like customer service, we're forced to be nice to people on an hourly, minutely basis, day to day. We can't say what we truly think and what we truly feel about each person. Trust me, if I could, I would be in jail.
Aged queen.
But that's what we love about watching people on a reality TV show, especially when they're having heated discussions about something that they disagree on, because we're like, finally, it's an outlet for us, because we can't take it, and we can't take out that anger as well on people at home, because it makes for a horrible home life. So we need to see people doing it on TV, which is why I feel like when there's a season where the queens are so placid and so nice, for example, like season 12, which is, everyone's like, it's a boring season because there was no, nastiness. Because we need to see that.
We do need to see that.
But yeah, so we cut to the runway, and I mean,
I love it when you do a hard cut like that. I'm just like, you do that, and I'm like, oh wait, is that even where we're at? I don't know anymore.
Yes, we are.
I guess I'll find out when I edit it.
So we already discussed Brad's ridiculous choice for his runway suit with the mesh singlet and blazer. Can't even remember what Tracy's wearing.
Green.
I think she looked good though.
She had like a really like
green,
frilly
green.
That's
right. Yes, she was in like the see-through tulle dress. Yep.
Mm-hmm. She had like long hair.
Brooklyn.
Fembot?
I was getting more Mars Attacks.
Yeah, the hair was definitely Mars Attacks.
Was the like half up, half down, or like a really high painting?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was almost like a helmet type, and she was in like the latex leatherette style. Like,
she just needed the ends to go like this to be like full Mars Attacks, but she had like the big fringe.
Yeah, look, her last two runways, I've not been, as I said, I've not been a huge fan of. The red one last week, I wasn't a big fan of. So I said the red one she wore last week was very much a Rue look. It's something I can see Rue wearing, which I don't think is a good thing for Brooklyn. Her lemon inspired look was heaven. And then that one that we had a very huge discussion about, her nude crystallized bodysuit with the black, gorgeous. Whereas he didn't agree with the hair. So he thought it should have been long hair, and I was like, no, that hair is perfect.
But not like over, like long, but like back.
Yeah, we came to a compromise, and like a slicked back bob would have looked good as well.
Yeah, the metal of the horse.
Did you hear that?
I heard part of it.
Would have made it look like a horse.
Ah, there we go. All I heard was horse.
But yeah, Brooklyn this week, very Mars Attacks almost. I would have loved if she had to come walking out like the woman from Mars Attacks. The very
like in that floaty kind of walk.
Yeah.
With a tiny chihuahua with Sarah Jessica Parker's head on it.
Who was the guest judge this week?
That guy, that guy, old mate.
Yeah, obviously a Canadian. Some
he was
one that
Canadian,
we don't know.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
He was a comedian, right?
Was he?
Oh, he wasn't very funny if he was a comedian.
No, I don't think so either. I think it was based on like the challenge.
Maybe, or is he just an actor? Actually, no, they don't. The guest judges have nothing to do with the challenges. Let's be real. They really don't. Anyway, what's that category? Y2K. Y2K Club Kids. First up was, I believe, was Rita Baga.
Yes.
In her box with the Montreal balls. And the drool.
Oh, the drool.
Is that on purpose?
No, it's because she had those the mouth guard things that hold your mouth open, and when she pulled the ball out and the drool that came out, I was like, they had to have deliberately left that in.
Absolutely.
Well, when she, I just keep seeing my blue mouth. When she did it, she kind of turned away from the camera to pull it out, but she didn't turn away enough, and it just was like.
No. So I didn't get her concept for this. Like her whole, I'm in a box and there's balls, and for some reason,
is there a reference to like her being in a box or a cage or something?
Yeah, but I didn't get the whole. I didn't get Y2K, and I didn't get Club Kid. Like for me, it didn't really fit either.
It would have been Club Kid, I would have thought, without the box. It was just the green outfit with the pink balls.
Maybe. Yeah,
the guest judge, potentially comedy man, he said that he got Club Kid from it.
Yeah, but he also said he's a comedian. We didn't get that, so we're not trusting his judgment yet.
Wait. Anyway, so next down the runway was Vanity Milan.
What was Vanity wearing? I've forgotten.
She had the
yellow hair.
Yeah, like the Loki fit and the big like cape that.
Yeah, the cape that got caught in the wind.
I mean, but it was cute.
That I loved.
Like the design of that cape
didn't fit the runway though.
Absolutely not.
There was nothing about that outfit that screamed Y2K Club Kid.
Definitely screamed gay.
I don't think it screamed gay. Like, I mean, she was. Well, I mean, the Loki headdress maybe, because Loki, is bi icon.
And a cheap pass at the Party City Week was like.
Yeah. I mean, the cape was giving me Andre Leon Talley, and I've just realized that neither of you are going to know who that is.
So,
does it play sport?
No. So Andre Leon Talley is a fashion icon. He was like the right-hand man of Anna Wintour for years. He also served as a guest judge on several seasons of America's Next Top Model.
I think you're mistaking him with Anne Hathaway in Devil Wears Prada.
I'm not. I liked her coat. Her coat was probably the best thing about her outfit.
I really liked the outfit. It just needed rhinestones and a different runway category.
100%.
Yeah. it was a great outfit. It just needed to be for something else. Maybe like a Batgirl movie.
Or like Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Superheroes, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything?
Not wacky.
No.
Not it all.
Who was the next one down the runway? Because I can't remember.
Oh, I can tell you.
Victoria?
Yes. I'm going to say yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we had Victoria Scone come out and try and climb around the set and break the set. What I loved was her very British, I'm so sorry, after she broke it. But the judging panel pissing themselves laughing at it.
It was hilarious. And also, like, when she was getting ready and we saw her painting her face, I was like, what the fuck is she going to be? Like, she's just doing green face.
So when she was painting, because we hadn't heard what the category is yet, and I was very confused as to what everyone was painting as. And then when she started painting herself green and did that, both my housemate and I are like, is she doing Shrek?
That's what we said too.
Is this what it is? Like, Shrek is love, Shrek is life? Like, is she going to come out as Shrek? I mean, she almost came out as Shrek. So she comes out as the Y2K bug.
So this I liked.
I didn't like the wig.
I
thought
I like the wig.
I could see you wearing the wig.
I think the wig has an almost mullet vibe, which is why you don't like it.
But I also didn't think it fit the rest of the outfit.
All right, question. What wig would you have worn if you were the Millennium Bug? Who, by the way, never showed up to the party that she was supposed to show up to.
I would either have not worn a wig and just had like a bald cap with antenna on it, if you're being a bug. Or gone some sort of green tinsel to blend in with the head.
Tinsel is never okay.
Okay, I do have two. I never wear them anymore because they're gonna end up with humans. I have two tinsel wigs. Tinsel wigs are amazing.
I'm not a tinsel fan. I think it's because my mother overdid it when I was a child at Christmas, and she just forced tinsel upon me. Between that and my sister trying to dress me as Chichi Rodriguez.
Did you? Wait, a lot to unpack there. Getting back to yours in a second. You have one of the full tinsel wigs?
Yeah, so the whole lace front wig is just tinsel. I don't know how the fuck to style it.
I was like, you can't style it, can you?
I walked down to the sun wearing it. I'm like, holy shit, I am the sun.
Oh, because it would
be very hot under there.
Oh, so shiny and so beautiful. I look like that filter app you have where
Kira.
Light. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in person, I'm like,
yep,
this is beautiful. But also, I'm like, I know if I'm in drag and I get sweaty, it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing is you wouldn't be able to style it because it can't curl or anything.
No, like the only thing I can think of is like half up, half down.
Yep.
And like zip tie or elastic band, like pigtails.
Could you curl it with scissors, like ribbon curls?
Oh, that would be a lot because it's individual strands.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
I mean, that would look cute, but you would never be able to get it straight again.
You could with straight though, in a low setting.
You reckon?
Oh, danger, Bill Robinson. Danger.
Okay, back to what you were saying. You look like Chi-Chi from Tu Wong Fu.
When I was a kid and I was growing up in WA, my mum at Christmas was obsessed with tinsel. So I have this like hatred for tinsel because I'm just like, don't bring it near me. And my stepkids, their mum loves tinsel and their tree at their house is covered in tinsel. And I'm like, don't even talk to me. But my sister at the same time used to try to dress me up as Chichi Rodriguez. Because we've spoken before about like my sister and I, when we were like 7, were watching Tu Wong Fu and loving it.
Yep.
And Kim was like,
I still haven't watched it.
Let's put you in.
You haven't seen Tu Wong Fu?
I gave her a fucking DVD.
Yeah, I have the DVD. I just haven't watched it yet.
You just have no DVD player.
No, I know I already, well, yeah, that, but I already decided I was just going to try and use my PlayStation for it. I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and watch it.
So Victoria's gone. And Y2K.
I mean, I thought it was a camp idea coming out as the Millennium Bug.
She definitely, to me, was the only one who screamed Y2K, and like it made sense. And then at the same time, she kept like, you know, the bodysuit with the neon, like definitely paid homage to Club Kids.
Yeah.
So I can see why she came out on top.
I like how the judges were like, the more I look at it, the more details I can see, like the ostrich feather and the neon tubing and all that. Whereas at first glance, yes, you can't really, you can't really see anything. You're like, oh yeah, cool, just another bodysuit. I feel like a lot of the queens at the moment have been doing very much that, just like bodysuits, which we see another two of.
Seen fucking 16,000 versions of Drag Race now. It's so hard to.
Oh yeah,
something that's new and fresh. We're gonna get we'll eventually get the leotards, and Michelle will be like, "Yes, I got another leotard."
So we just did Victoria Scone, who is, I think
Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
Yeah, that's right.
The eye and the mouth. I feel like I'd seen this look before.
Yes.
That's why when it came out, I'm like, oh.
Well, I mean, large everything was. Who wore it on Down Under? Someone on Down Under wore a very similar look. Coco Jumbo. Remember when she came out in the lips, and they were called her very hodgepodge. But she had the lips, and she had the calamari rings as earrings. That's
a lot of more face. It was reminiscent to me of when Sasha Velour came out with the crown. She had the hand on the hand, and then a scroll or something.
Yes, yeah.
Like I thought it was just an enlarged version of.
See, I just think I didn't get Silky's concept for this. It didn't scream Y2K. It didn't scream Club Kid.
It completely missed the mark. Like again,
well,
leotard, which looked nice, but like when they asked her about it, when they're doing not critiques, when they were talking to them afterwards, she was like, it was all about her and the fact that she talks a lot and she's blind as a bat. Like, great, it's very personal, but
if you have to explain it, it's not translating. And finally, we have Raja O'Hara in her intestinal tract runway.
So again, a look that had to kind of be explained because they thought she was a limp Teletubby.
I didn't get Y2K from this.
No.
I got more, I did get the Club Kid sort of vibe from it, but not Y2K. And
it was too like fashion to be.
Yeah, when she kept having to hold this part up, or just like, I don't know if it was intentional, supposed to be floppy, or it just fell, but it's just like when she kept playing with it, I'm like, just leave it alone. Well, like when your mum, when you were a teenager, kept saying, stop playing with yourself. No? Anyway, so Raja in her limp Teletubby intestinal tract.
Which was supposed to be like the needle and the thread going on a journey. I don't know. Didn't get it.
Oh.
The pants and the firecrackers do that.
Yeah, it's all part of the journey.
Chlamydia?
That's a fabric, maybe?
Yes.
The clap.
I'm glad you got that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no. So our tops are Victoria and Silky?
Raja. No, Raja. Rita. Sorry,
Rita.
No,
Victoria,
I knew it began with an R.
Yeah, I know, yeah, Victoria and Rita, that's right. Which is deserving. Because I do think that Rita's in her challenge, like as a mother, was deserving.
Always like that.
Victoria was obviously funny as well. I think the rest of them were sort of just there. So top two are Victoria and Rita. Bottom two are Vanity and Silky. Silky looks pissed though.
Well, she clearly did not agree with the judges this week, and I'm
she
not
even
sure what planet she was living on.
She even said so when they went into their like untucked. Which again, I'm still not happy with the fact that the overseas versions and these versus the world versions and our version get like a 2-minute untucked as opposed to a full episode. I really wish we got a proper untucked. Yeah, Silky looked pissed, and she even mentioned in the untucked that she didn't think that she deserved the bottom placement. But I'd love to know who she thought.
I don't think so. She's been Raja and Vanity.
You think Raja?
Yeah, I didn't enjoy her in that performance.
Yeah, fair.
I just thought it was Raja being Raja, but Silky being Silky is funny.
Sometimes. Yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see Raja being a substitute for Silky easily. Definitely Vanity deserved her bottom placement. I think she let her lack of interest in the role that she was given sabotage her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, yes, you're obviously going to want a specific role, but in that sort of thing, if you're given something that you weren't originally keen on, you still go out and do everything you can, because you can end up turning something you didn't want to do into absolute gold. Because it's happened before on the show. Someone going, "Oh, I didn't want this role," and end up winning the challenge.
Well, I
You
do
always
love
say do more and reel it back.
Yeah, and I love her comment because obviously at the start she was in the bottom two last week, and then she got saved. Well, they both got saved, and then she was saying how she's got the fire in her belly, and she's this is the kick up the bum that she needed, and then cut to after the
Did someone
runways.
douse that with water?
Well, I just liked it when she was like, I said I was going to bring the fire, but I brought the fart.
Gastro. What was our lip sync song this week? Because I can't remember.
It was not very good. Something Canadian.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think this was a Canadian song. I think
It sampled a song from the 90s, and I can't think what it is now. It was called Freak by Estelle featuring Cardinal Official.
That's right. Yeah, because Estelle's British.
She is too.
Yeah, she's the one that sings American Boy, You be my American boy.
Oh, she's not British. She left England after that.
Yes, that's right. I didn't realize this was Estelle.
Well, no one does, because Estelle's not done anything since American Boy.
But no, I've heard that song before, but I didn't realize it was Estelle. Yeah, it was a very odd choice for a lip sync, to be fair. But I do
It makes sense with the Y2K. Thank God.
Yeah, I think Rita obviously did better in the lip sync than Victoria did.
Why does Victoria not change her outfits for her lip syncs, but everyone else does?
I think it's purely because obviously for her it's a new thing coming back. So maybe she didn't bring enough outfits to change. So then Rita obviously wins lip sync justifiably. She then pulls out her lipstick, and it is Vanity Milan's time to go. I do think this was the right choice.
She was in the bottom 2 weeks in a row. If that being in the bottom's not enough to get you out of the bottom, maybe you should go.
Yeah.
She completely is.
Well, actually, this is the first season where, All Stars format season, I should say, where there's not been a queen in the bottom more than 2 weeks in a row before she's gone. Because normally every other All Stars format, and even UK versus the world, there was a queen that was in the bottom multiple weeks before she finally gets eliminated. That this is the first time where it's, they've gone, okay, you're in the bottom this week. Oh, you're in the bottom again. All right, goodbye. But I definitely think, Vanity, she showed lack of confidence, which was a detriment to her.
Mm-hmm.
Do I agree with the top four placement? So as in having Rita, Raja, Silky, and Victoria as the top four? No.
Definitely Raja.
I 100% would have seen Victoria in a top four placement.
Raja in the top four placement. Victoria's been on the top a few times, and she's been consistently.
Well, she's not been
runways and
only queen to not hit the bottom. She's the only queen to not be in the bottom so far.
Someone that we didn't really see much of in her actual season.
Yeah, I definitely saw Isis being in the top four if she hadn't gone.
If she hadn't left, 100%.
She could have gone that episode.
I don't think she would have bombed that bad to put it in the bottom two for that episode. I don't think. I definitely think she would have. And I think she's a lot funnier than she gives herself credit for. I mean, she won the Snatch Game, for God's sakes. And that was all improv. I think she's a lot funnier than she gives herself credit for. So I think she could have easily still been in top four. All right, so as we've said, our top four, we've got Victoria, Silky, Raja, and Rita. Predictions. Who do you think is going to take out Canada versus the world.
Will a Canadian win because it is Canada?
Who won the UK festival?
Blue Hydrangea.
So it is home country so far.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'd love Silky to win, but based on last week, I'm like, oh, maybe not.
Well, you've got to remember for the win, it's a lip sync SmackDown for the crown. So it's essentially 3 lip syncs. So 2 queens lip syncing against each other twice, and then the winner of each one lip syncing against each other. I think the lip sync SmackDown for the crown is a horrible way of deciding who's winning. They could easily do a lip sync royale sort of thing, like have them all lip sync to certain things, even like they did for All Stars 6, where the 4 of them lip sync to the same song, but not together. So you just got to see each one lip syncing to their own way to the song, and then they pick a winner based on that. That I'd be happy with, because you're getting to see essentially each queen's interpretation of a number, the exact same number. That I'd be happy with. But the battle royale version that they are going to do, I don't see ending in the way that it should.
See, that's where I think it becomes favoritism to a degree.
See, in my eyes, I think either Victoria or Rita should take this out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Raja's done enough to warrant a win, and I don't think Silky has done enough to warrant a win. I think Victoria is my pick to win.
She's my pick to win as well. Like, I think I've made it clear in the past couple of episodes that I am very much here for Victoria Scone to take it out. Like, to me, she has been like all round consistently good, even just from like being a viewer and just watching her interact with the other queens. She's been consistently funny and kind, and she's had moments like when she pulled, Jesus, who did she pull up in like week whatever it was about the fishy comment? Like she's
Stephanie Prince.
That's correct. So she's just been consistently solid throughout the whole thing. From her runway looks have been great. To me as well, she's the one queen whose runway looks have always met the brief. Even if, they might, during production, they might have changed it. Which one?
Her polyps look. The Queen of the World, where she came out as
all right. That's probably the only one where she was maybe
the Queen of the World look, where she came out as she dressed like a scone, but like with the jam and the cream, but then the random polyps on her shoulders and chest.
Yeah, I think that's like a design flaw, but she still like met the
That's the only one that I would say has her letdown.
That was her weakest one in terms of meeting the brief. But she's been more consistent than anyone else.
It wouldn't surprise me if they crown her, because there was rumored that until she obviously hurt herself on her season, she was supposed to be a front runner for season 3 for the UK, which is why there's all that speculation that Crystal Versace, who ended up winning that season, was never supposed to win season 3. Like, she was a last minute choice, because originally they had intended, because the biggest thing going around with the Drag Race fandom, and especially now that social media is such a big thing and leaks happen left, right, and center, is that production already choose the winner when they cast the queens. So when they're choosing the cast, they already know who they're casting, is going to win the season. So there was speculation that Victoria was cast to be the winner, but when she injured herself and could not continue, that's why the rest of the season for UK season 3 seemed a little bit scrambled, because they were having to essentially make it up on the spot, because their winner had been taken out unceremoniously.
And I mean, from a production value, and even just like being present in 2022 moment, we have never had a cisgendered lesbian drag queen win. Therefore, if she does win, but then we've also got 2 other queens of color who could be great representation to win as well.
My thing with that though is, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves, especially with the fandom, is them going, we need a big girl to win. If they're the best person, I hate this whole, we need to have this person win. We need to have this person win because we don't have this type of winner. We don't have this type of winner. If they're the best, 100%. But if they're not the best, they shouldn't win just because they fit a category.
But also because of people in their certain life, I'm not going to say expectancies because that's not the wrong word, but like situations that they're presented. Obviously, like I just had an interview with someone in regards to like drag kings. They don't get the same opportunities as drag queens. So someone who's an AFAB performer versus a drag queen, like, they might not have that same exposure and that same
completely fair
thing. So to be able to give someone that, because Victoria Scone is an amazing performer, I feel like she'd be able to do stuff with it. I'd love Raja to win just because I feel like Raja, in my eyes, has done the most. But Victoria would open doors for so many AFAB performers as well as drag kings, just purely based on that one.
100%. But that's the thing is, like, while yes, she would open doors by winning, does she deserve the win? I mean, yes, we've seen this season she deserves the win, but if she'd just been like consistently safe and they just crowned her because, you know, she opens those doors and she fits the brief, I think that's a cop-out, because essentially you're just telling every other queen you can try your best and you can be better than someone else, but unless you're fitting a certain category that we need for this time around, you're wasting your time. Like, I think it should always, it's the same with.
You could say that about Sasha Velour, she didn't win a single thing.
Oh, 100, no, but that's the thing is 100%. Everyone does agree that season 9, when Sasha won, everyone was expecting Shay to win because Shay should have won because she was the best queen. But that's when they originally changed it to that lip sync SmackDown format. And unfortunately, it just happened to work against Shay's favor, which is, again, why I think the lip sync SmackDown is a horrible.
But then they got to reuse Shay.
True. But they could have also, but they would have got the same with Sasha, though. They could have easily reused Sasha, and I think she still would have done well on an All-Stars season.
It's also all produced TV.
Yeah, heavily produced. Yeah. But I do think it comes down to, it's the same with acting. Like, the best actor for the role should be chosen for the role.
Absolutely, not because of their status and people are going to go to the movie to see the actor.
Like, it should be a case of, if this person blew you away for their audition, then they should be the person that is chosen. Exact same thing as when you're choosing a partner. You don't just choose someone because they fit your brief. You choose someone.
You choose the one that blew you away.
Well, that is a good enough reason. Shaun, overall thoughts on this season before we get into the finale?
This season of the Wind Up has been my favorite.
No, the Drag Race.
Oh, Drag Race. Okay. Look, Canada versus the world has been fun. I've really enjoyed all the queens that have been on there. Everybody has been super nice, which has been super annoying because I wanted more drama. But that's
I feel like we're going to get it with US 15.
Yeah. I think so too.
But it could all be teaser. It's just those 3 spats that they have to put in the trailer. Hopefully not.
Your thoughts on Canada versus the world? I looked at him, meaning I was talking to him.
Thanks, Karen.
I love an All-Stars just because it brings such top quality like drag to a stage, and the challenges reflect that as well. So I really enjoyed it, and to be able to see such big queens like Silky and Raja compete against these queens that have only been on one season has been really interesting, and they've really kind of had their own. They've been able to see that, so yeah, really enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what kind of next Best of the World season.
Yes. Whether or not it's the global All Stars or whether it's down under.
Yeah.
See, for me, my only disappointment was the fact that, as we discussed, especially with the Comedy Queens episode, this group is not a funny bunch. And we saw that again with the Spy Queens challenge. They're not a comedic bunch.
Well, Anita Wiglet was, but she
Yeah, I think unfortunately for her, it was just again, I think the pressure got to her, especially being in such a global.
Yeah, and also Australia doesn't have the budget for the designers compared to
No,
the rest of the world, because the creative arts industry here is just not big enough.
no, we
Also,
got
her
no support during COVID.
cheekbones just couldn't take it anymore either.
We know constant.
Yeah, like
I mean,
looks like she's
still,
always having a good time. I'll have what she's having.
Terminal happiness.
Terminal happiness.
Yeah.
I still love from episode 1 when they did Bonjour High, and that song just fit her team so perfectly. And just they start the song with just her looking at everyone going, Bonjour High. Like that's that was camp. I do think it was a good mix of queens this season. My only disappointment was, in all honesty, I would have preferred to see 2 other American queens besides Raja and Silky, because they've got close to 200 queens to pick from, and they're constantly choosing the same ones for different All Stars, be it the Versus the World or just in general All Stars. So I would love to see different queens be getting an opportunity on the Versus the World format than ones that have already been on a US All Stars. I think that would be fairer. Because, I mean, the ones that have already done All Stars in the US, then getting onto the Versus the World, they've already had 2 turns around in the drag race. I mean, like, look at Jujubee, who had 700. Like, you've already had multiple chances to do this, and you know what's coming, and you know how to elevate everything. Whereas all the other queens on the Versus the World, this is their second time, so they're only just getting to slightly elevate themselves. Sorry, am I boring you?
Yeah.
You're lucky. Normally she gets really mad when you yawn on camera. Believe me.
Like Plastic Tiara.
I would love to see, Plastic Tiara make a comeback.
Where'd she go?
Under the drag race format, I mean. Not as in like in a comeback, as in like in drag. And do you know, in all honesty, I would love to see Courtney Act make a return.
She wouldn't come back, doesn't she have like a tumultuous relationship with Rue now?
No, they're very bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Courtney's just moved back to Sydney and just bought a house, so she probably won't. Could you imagine the scandal if she was cast on Down Under Versus the World?
She would not.
Could you imagine though?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh, there's
So I'd love to see her take it down.
her versus Art would be hilarious. But actually, no, that would never happen because Art has worked with her too many times. But I would love to see Courtney making a return to the All Stars format. Same with like, yeah, Courtney versus the World would be amazing. Courtney versus the World. There we are. That's the new season. It's just Courtney versus the World.
We need a RuPaul versus the World. Whoever doesn't do his own makeup and hair.
Oh God, could you imagine?
Level that playing field.
Looking like she did on that episode of Project Runway.
Oh my God. That reminds me of what's a movie called with the guy that plays Felicia in SWAT. Wow, how do you
Guy Pearce?
There you go. Guy Pearce, the movie where he goes in the time machine and there's
the time machine.
The time machine with Samantha Mumba. That I know.
Creatures.
Yeah.
Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams.
And those creatures.
Yeah. I'm with you. Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been this week's episode of The Wind Up. I just want to give a very huge special thanks once again to our fabulous guest this week, Terry Daktyl.
Thanks for joining us. You can come back anytime. We're here. There's a new iteration of The Wind Up coming up, which you may have to come and play.
I mean, season 15 of Drag Race US, which we're about to start in 2 weeks, or 3 weeks once it starts, which is going to run for 84 weeks.
Oh, I think
wait, do I get a break?
What? We get a 1 week break.
Oh, thank God.
So Canada versus the world finishes next week, and then we have a 1 week break, and then US 15 starts. No, I said the same thing to him. I was like, US 15 is going to run for 84 weeks. He's like, I know you're joking. Please tell me you're joking. And I was like, well, no, it's just because the last one did run for so long.
And hopefully I'll be here and
Yes, yes. So we'll arrange guests for the next one.
You will arrange guests. That's your job.
That's my one job.
I don't even have any good people I can bring on.
It's my one job. I'll arrange guests. We'll get Queens of Watch Drag Race and get them to come on. Yeah, thank you to Terry Daktyl. So don't forget, you can follow the pod at the windup_pod on Instagram. You can follow myself at microphone with an F, not a PH, because a PH spells craphone. You can follow him at Shaun Phillip Official. Follow him at Terry.Daktyl. All of this will appear on the things as you see it. Anyway, but this has been the Wind Up. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you all next week for the finale of Canada versus the world. Bye.
Bye.